You are in the Warriors Huddle with me, Bram, and with me, per usual, my master of all things video and sound, Maxine.
How's it going?
And rejoining us after way too long, perhaps the first time in 2025, a former writer for the Las Vegas Review-Journal, where he covered the Raiders, the Aces, the Golden Knights in combat sports, the Golden State beat writer for the San Francisco Chronicle, who attends every single practice, press conference, shoot, around a game, and a guy whose insights on Golden State are so dynamite that I'll admit to you, I occasionally steal them and put them into normal conversation all the time. Mr. Sam Gordon. What's going on, Sam?
What's happening, fellas? Great to see you guys. Appreciate you having me back on the show. And glad the NBA season is underway. We're having a blast and very much enjoying the start of the season so far. Grateful to be in Milwaukee, courtesy of the San Francisco Chronicle.
We appreciate having you back. You add immediate legitimacy, even just that you're in Milwaukee now, then that we can kind of like casually say, oh yeah, we happen to be talking to the reporter before the game. And I'll admit to you, I thought of you recently. A couple weeks back, I went to Vegas with friends and we ended up going to a Golden Knights game. I'm not a huge hockey guy. I don't know a lot about the Knights. Fuck, man, I was impressed. You know what it reminded me of? And this is a very random analogy. It reminded me of a Valkyries game. Because that crowd they just are so excited to have a sport. They care about the team and they were rooting for the team, but also just being there was a cause for celebration and they were losing their fucking minds in there.
I totally buy it. The Golden Knights had all the sports have taken a real foothold in Vegas, but the Golden Knights have a very unique connection with Vegas. One, they're an expansion team, right? They are homegrown in that sense, and we're the first kind of pro sports team to take their foothold. And the Golden Knights, I think, were very much a part of the healing process for the tragedy, October 1st, 2017. The Golden Knights emerge, and their very first game, they're up like 3-0 or 4-0 or something in the first for 2 or 3 minutes on a night where they honored the first responders. And it was a catharsis in the arena. It was a privilege to cover that. That was one of my first assignments when I came back for the second stint at the Las Vegas Review-Journal. Team goes to the Cup the first year. You saw very much, right, the in-game presentation, like it's all part of it. And all those things kind of merged together to make the Golden Knights have a very unique and special place, not only in Las Vegas, but in the NHL. So that's cool that you got to experience that. I had a lot of fun. I very much moonlighted covering the Golden Knights, but I always enjoyed being around T-Mobile Arena when I had the opportunity, for sure.
It's great fucking insight. I'll share this last thing, and then we'll talk Warriors here. But while I was there, we bet on the over in the game. They had to score, more than 6.5 goals. And so I was engaged, and rooting. And at one point, a fan to my left asked me, "Oh, how long have you been a Knights fan?" And stupidly, Sam, I was like, "Oh, I'm not really a hockey guy. We just put money on it." And I was immediately like persona non grata, like, who the fuck is this? And so after that, the dude behind me had asked how many games you went to. Immediately lied. I was like 25. Like, we're huge Knight fans. So hopefully that dude's not listening now. If he did, my apologies, man. Is what it is, boys. Let's talk Warriors. Let's jump into our initial and consistent segment, the glass half full. Look back at recent Warriors hoop. Give us something you like and don't. Quick admission here. We're recording this before the Milwaukee game. That's why Sam is in Milwaukee. So not to draw any attention that like we can incorporate what happened in Milwaukee. Let's take it kind of at like broad strokes. Just things you've noticed during these 5 first games that you like or didn't. Sam, we haven't heard from you, man. Why don't you start us off?
Yeah, there's a lot of things that I think the Warriors certainly like right now, right? First off, they're 4-1. They're third in the league in 3-point shooting. They're using their depth. Nobody's getting overtaxed. There's balance to the offense. They struggle a little bit defensively, kind of finding their footing, right? Winning games, but it wasn't necessarily on the strength of their defense per se. Situational defense. But against the Clippers the other night, put together a full defensive game.
Right.
That game, if not for on the strength of James Harden, still very much capable of doing what he's long done, control a basketball game. He did that certainly in the second quarter. Other than that, that was pretty much a defensive masterclass from start to finish from Golden State. The first one of those, and ultimately, right, that has been this team's calling card at their apex is defense. So seeing them get that defense established after, it was coming together the first 4 games, I think is definitely something that the Warriors are pleased with. They're playing so well. There, you could talk about you could take this any number of directions in terms of the individual production and then kind of big picture where they're at from a team perspective. So this is a team right now that's rolling, that's firing on all cylinders, that obviously has the whole season out in front of them, and there's got to sustain this consistently. Bucks are not going to be an easy matchup tonight. You're dealing with Giannis Antetokounmpo and everything that he brings. They had a big win over the Knicks the other night. So another good litmus test, getting a look at the Eastern Conference for the first time this season after all 5 games out west. Still their third game in 4 nights. So, yeah, a lot going on that I think Warriors fans certainly like, and I think the Warriors themselves are enjoying at this point, but a long way to go too.
Hope you enjoyed my prop there. I've been told by the kids that somebody eating popcorn is a good sign of like, oh, I like that person's take. I'm in. So fucking nice some popcorn there for you. That was 100% aimed at you. I got some shit, but Maxime, we haven't heard from you, man. Like or don't?
I guess I like the popcorn. That's cool. Yeah, it's a nice look.
Appreciate it. Got you.
Tremendous snack.
Yeah, thank you, man. Yeah.
Yeah, it's very nice. Yeah. And it's cool because it comes through for the audio as well. So you don't have to be up on YouTube to see what's going on. You can hear it too. It's really nice. Yeah. Really
great nat sound. Oh yeah.
Yeah. We'll pump it up for the listeners.
Yeah. Mouth sounds while listening to the podcast. I'm sure everyone's turning it up.
Yeah. In fact, we get a lot of comments. Hey, can we get some more mouth sounds?
Yeah.
But Warriors specific, I mean, I'm going to agree with DVDV in the comments. JK is playing awesome to start the season. Hope he keeps doing exactly what he's doing. I saw a quote recently saying that he asked Steve Kerr to coach him hard. Even if that's performative, I mean, fake it till you make it, right? I love that we're not hearing his discontent about how he's being coached. There feels like there is an air of unity. And then you hear Jimmy Butler. I know we already talked about this, but Jimmy Butler sort of talking about taking him as under his wing. You even see him running plays that Jimmy runs and that sort of stuff. It's like, oh, it's cool. He's buying in, right? He's paying attention. Even if he's not doing the advanced playmaking stuff, he's doing the basic playmaking stuff. Would I have liked to have seen this a little bit sooner in his career? Sure. Am I happy that it's happening now? 100%. And the other thing is, speaking of younger guys on the team, Al Horford, we know he's planning to sit back-to-backs throughout the season, and Quentin Post stepped up in his absence. Moses Moody sort of stepped up in maybe Klay Thompson's absence. It just feels like, Sam, to your point, we have a well-rounded squad, and I think the center position continues to be something that I'm afraid of with an older team like this that tends to be skewed towards the Steph Curry end of the floor. Al Horford is supposed to fix that, and he does, but I felt really good about Quentin Post's contributions both on offense and on defense. So I'm generally very excited about where we're at. I heard somebody say on a podcast somewhere that if this was a 50 game regular season, the Warriors would be the 3 seed. That sounds right to me. It is always going to be a conversation about health going forward, but fundamentally, who cares, right? If we're a 3 seed with a 50 season long version of the NBA, I think it's very possible that we end up in the top 6 going into the playoffs, and that's all I care about. So a lot of optimism to start the season.
You earned at least 3 pieces of popcorn, as I'm sure everyone can tell from my mouth sounds. Let's see, quick and dirty. What do I like? I like that they've won in different ways, boys. It's not just that they're winning, it's that they're winning with whatever the game requires. Against the Clippers, they won with defense, just like Sam pointed out. Against Denver, they won with a Steph flurry. Against Memphis, they won with the young guys. Against the Lakers, they won with Jimmy Butler's calm, cool, collected end. And really good teams adjust to what's out there, and the Warriors have been adjusting. So I like that. I've used this line maybe 20 times now. If I run into something I think sounds good, I will fucking run it into the ground. One of the things I said before this season started and I ran into the ground was last season felt like a season full of questions. This season feels like a season full of answers. And that's been true so far. We wondered who the second scorer was going to be last year. Jimmy. We wondered if JK, Dre, and Jimmy could play together. They can. We wondered what the rotations should be and what roles people should have. That was an angst we had the whole fucking year. And now that's not an angst. Everybody feels like all the players know exactly what's expected of them. And if they don't have it, there's someone else who can come in and that role will supplement it. So it's been great. Now, what do I don't like? 2 things. 1, 8 p.m. starts. Holy shit. Whose fucking idea was this? Like, why are we doing this? For what, dude? To accommodate the World Series? Like, I went to the game on Tuesday that started at 8. I got home at fucking midnight. That's not an acceptable thing. It's like, that's not okay. And if you're going to do it, the NBA is the only sport I know that treats its start time cutely. Like they show up fashionably late every time. If it's a 7:00 start, they don't start till like 7:18. You're gonna make me wait till 8. The fucking tip better be at 8:00, dude, because we all want out of there. Second thing I don't like, and I've been very vocal about this on social media, fuck you, Peacock. I can't stand this shit. The only reason, a little glimpse into my unnecessary life, the only reason I pay for cable, I'm one of the last people on earth who still has the wire. Like I pay for fucking Comcast. The only reason I do that and haven't switched entirely to whatever streaming thing is so that I can watch the Bay teams on 696 on NBC Sports Bay Area. It turns out occasionally they don't show it on fucking cable and they stream it on Peacock, which I don't pay for. So fuck you, Peacock. This is ridiculous. I demand that they don't make me pay extra for a team I've already paid to watch. So those are my two don'ts. I went long. Do you guys have any don'ts so far? The 8:00 start must be brutal for you, Sam. I mean, that must mean you don't start to work on your column until like 11:30. That's
we're all good. We're all good. I'm covering the NBA, and it don't get any better than that. So you know what I'm saying? I can stay up late. I'm used to it. I've the late nights for me. I've been doing that my whole life. So the fact that I get to do them now and be around the NBA, like, we'll take it all day.
I complained on the ferry ride home so much that my wife was like, why do you go to these games? It's like, well, just enjoy it. Like, why do we always have something that you nitpick on desperately?
Hey, did you enjoy the game Tuesday?
Oh my God, yes.
There you go.
Yes.
Yeah,
oh my God.
There you go.
Here. And I mean, nicely played. In fact, let's put a bow on it with something I did like. The maturation of the young defenders. And Sam, I'm going to steal your take. You had this great point out about Kuminga, and it was in the Lakers game. And what you pointed out was that Ayton goes on a pick and roll. It's a rim run. He's going to dunk. And JK had this very subtle, used his ass and knocked Ayton off the line. And so when that pass went up, instead of it being an alley-oop, it was an interception. And there was the kind of thing that they've asked JK to do forever, but he hasn't made the adjustment. He's made the adjustment. And Quentin Post, going back, did I like that last game? His defense on Zubac,
for sure.
Zoo kills us. I mean, he murdered us.
Very, very good player, for sure.
Yeah. And KP stood his ground, or QP stood his ground, which I liked a lot.
I mean, again, like, when you ask me, like, glass half full, right? There's just the team's playing so well. Like, everybody's playing their part. Like, we can go in a number of directions, but I want to get to your point about the defense, right? Because again, that's probably like the biggest takeaway for me in terms of what is going to propel this team into the postseason and on a potentially deep postseason run. Like, they're going to have to defend at a high level. That is a hallmark of Steve Kerr teams. And you got Quentin Post playing the way he did. That's, 7 feet, quality positional defense, physicality at 7 feet. That gives them another dimension. We know what Al Horford can do defensively. We saw some of that against Nikola Jokic. Yep. Going back to, Jonathan Kuminga, having him guard the point of attack. Like, Jonathan, like, the way I kind of look at this is you bring back the team, like the team that beat Houston, except the continuity's there, and you're adding Jonathan Kuminga, you're adding Al Horford, you're adding Will Richard, like, you're adding to this team. Plus, there's continuity, plus a whole season to kind of map everything out. I want to go back to something. This is something I've been thinking about as we've seen, Jonathan Kuminga play this year. He had a really good game against the Lakers at the end of last season. That you guys may remember. The Warriors went into LA. LeBron had a big night. I don't think Luka played. And Kuminga had just an awesome game. The ball was moving. He was active in transition. Like, all the things we're seeing this season, like last year. Because it's been there at various junctures throughout his career, right? Like, the proof of concept is there. That's why it was so crucial for the Warriors to bring him back. That's why this thing dragged out, because there is an element that he gives them that they just do not have, and that they don't have elsewhere on their roster. And when you look at the top teams in the Western Conference, the conference finalists last year, Houston, all the like length and explosiveness, like he gives them an element. And going back to the Laker game, Steph Curry came to the podium and said something. I'm paraphrasing this, but basically that this team can't reach its potential unless he's a part of that.
Yeah.
And that's very much true. It's not just that the Warriors necessarily that Kuminga's leaning into, his role on the Warriors. It's that the Warriors are leaning into Kuminga. Yep. He is clearly, I mean, you saw that Steve Kerr stamped him as a starter pregame the other night. Like, there's an understanding clearly, right? I'm just going by what I see and how everything, but like, this is working. Like, this is working, and it's essential for this team reaching its potential. And you are seeing the seeds of that at the beginning of the season planted. Now again, got to get through 82 games. Got to continue to see how it develops and looks. But what's not to like about the way he's playing? I go back to the point defensively. The Warriors struggled at the point of attack last year. Doesn't mean they didn't have capable point of attack defenders, but in the playoffs, matchups, all those things, like, you got to be on point with that. And having him out there guarding Luka, guarding James Harden, guarding Ja Morant, and being a disruptor back there, it changes the ceiling of their defense.
Yep.
And now you have, again, Moses Moody back healthy, playing through a hand injury during the playoffs. I'm sure that probably affected. How did that not affect him? It affected his shooting, all those things. Will Richard, now another point of attack defender, 6'10", length. You've seen him already this year. Nip guys, pick him up on the ball. Give me that. You've seen him do that as a rookie, late second-round pick, getting minutes with the first group, with the second group, first half, second half. So seeing the seeds, the defensive upside that this team has now with Jonathan Kuminga, now with Will Richard, now with Al Horford, another fortifier back there, the continuity, Moses Moody back, his role, confidence, all those things in place. That is something I'm going to continue to track and watch for, and it's very much a part of this team's upside. It speaks in a lot of ways to the depth that they've developed. It speaks a lot of ways to the fit, the stylistic fit, and the execution of that fit so far through these first 5 games. So yeah, I mean, short of the Blazers game, and like, styles make fights. The Blazers showed that they're, that why the top of the conference is going to be tough for the Warriors, as it should be. The teams with a lot of athleticism, a lot of length, and a lot of size, but you get 82 games to kind of figure those things out, to manage health, to continue to develop the young players, to continue to put continuity together. And you see why this team has the optimism around it that it has, that you can very much feel in proximity to this group right now. So, yeah, just to kind of build on what you said, I don't even remember what the original talking point was, but those things have all jumped out for sure.
I was gold. I ran out of popcorn. Otherwise, you would have seen me hitting far more during those takes. Quick kind of follow-ups. One, JK. There are times when people are doing well enough or issues are so discussed that people who are kind of casual fans of the Warriors, they'll bring them up immediately. Right now, if you go and talk to somebody who's not like a diehard Warriors fan, one of the first things they'll bring up to you is like, ooh, JK sure is looking, it comes out immediately. And so a lot of people are noticing this leap he made. Depth, it's gotten to the portion where when they put out the team to just finish out a game, they're up 25, whatever it is, and you put people out, they're all recognizable rotation guys.
For sure.
Like Richard is a player. Guy Santos can give you minutes. And so it's kind of fun that all of these dudes belong on NBA rosters.
They have experience starting for the Warriors.
Exactly. That's exactly right. And then I'll end it with one more thing I don't like. And it's a weird thing to say. I didn't like watching Chris Paul be old. I didn't like it in the Clippers game. And I mean, I'll put it a different way. There's never been a movie that featured Jaws as an old shark. There's never been a Friday the 13th where Jason was too old to run, or anything. Villains in Hollywood aren't depicted when they're past their prime. It was really weird experiencing a villain past his prime. I didn't like it. I didn't like him having back. I didn't like that he looked old. It was a weird thing. But I digress. We're going to go to our golden questions. One I'm very excited to ask you, Sam, but we'll use this as a tease because first, a word from our sponsor. Huddle listeners, fast breaks, buzzer beaters, and block parties are back, and Underdog is the best place to get in on all the action. Playing on Underdog is easy. Just pick whether your favorite players will go higher or lower on stats like points, rebounds, steals, and more. And if you get your picks right, you can win up to 5,000 times your cash. I love this app. It makes me enjoy watching the Warriors even more, which is a weird thing to say because I base my whole week around them. And I'll give you an example. That's true for tonight. They're about to play Milwaukee. I'm fired up for that game anyways. But I've created some additional interest. So according to Underdog, the higher or lower for Steph three-pointers is 4.5 tonight. I'm taking the over. He goes more, at least 5. And I'm hoping to add some money to the pocket in addition to just watching the game. Download the app today. Use promo code WHP as in Warriors Huddle Podcast to score $100 in bonus funds or bonus entries when you play your first $5. That's promo code WHP. Underdog, make picks, win money. Time for the legal stuff. I'm going to try to go fast. Must be 18 plus. 19 plus in Alabama and Nebraska, 19 plus in Colorado for some games, 21 plus in Arizona, Massachusetts, and Virginia. Present in a state where Underdog Fantasy operates. Terms apply. See assets.underdogfantasy.com/web/play and get terms _DFS_.html for details. Offer is not valid in Maryland, Michigan, New Jersey, New York, Ohio, and Pennsylvania. And if you're concerned with your play, call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit www.ncpgambling.org in New York. Call 24/7 Hope line at 877-8-HOPE-NEW York or text HOPE New York. That's 467-369. Give me 1 second here, boys. I got to open my door. I'll be right back.
I mean, that was an impressive show. I would have given it a couple popcorns just for the speed at which he got through the legalese. And by the way, Sam, one thing that I didn't like that we didn't get to talking about Bram. That was a quick door open. Did you notice at the end of one of his earlier takes, I guess before the popcorn ran out, Bram ate popcorn as if he was signaling that he liked his own take? Are we allowed to do that? Is that cool?
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, cool.
Bram feels like he's cooking, then he gets to enjoy that.
If I could like regurgitate some popcorn based on that question, I would kind of like a fuck you to Maxine, but I don't have like that baby bird reflexive thing. We are going to build up, Sam. So our golden questions, as you know, mailbag, we get questions from a lot of people. The last question is the one I'm most interested in, but we'll build our way up there. Here's a first. And this one draws my attention too. What player, not named Steph, Draymond, or Jimmy, is the most important to this team's success this year?
I'm Jonathan Kuminga. Yeah, Jonathan Kuminga. And we just talked about his defense. Let's talk about his offense for a second and what he brings to them offensively. And again, there has been proof of concept in pockets, right? Like remember that 6-game stretch before he hurt his ankle last year?
Yeah.
A lot of what we're seeing right now baked into that 6-game stretch. It's just that now the team is better. He's had 10 more months of maturity and development, and they have the continuity and kind of, the feel for what this team is going to look like. That was very much a team in flux. To your guys' point, this one isn't. But offensively, he gives you real force at the basket. Hard to keep him away from the basket. When he gets a crease, when that ball is moving, when that defense is rotating, he gets a crease, he's at the rim. 2 dribbles, he's at the rim. Not even. We know what he can do as a cutter. And that ball is popping. Period. He can bend the defense and create advantages for himself and for other players, with or without the ball. It's all coming together, and it elevates. It gives the Warriors another layer of upside offensively. It's not to say that the rest of the roster isn't wholly important, of course, but for all the reasons we kind of talked about on the defensive end, he gives them a unique dynamic offensively, too, that can't necessarily be replicated with his rim pressure. So the fact that, you couldn't ask for a better start if you're the Warriors, really. Like, even the Portland loss, again, there's things about that stylistic matchup that I think are going to be tough at times for the Warriors this season with those kinds of teams. That was, they flew out of Golden State, out of San Francisco that night, got in the hotel 2:30 in the morning after an overtime win against Denver. Like that, that's a tough spot to play in. Stylistic advantages, stylistic kind of matchup notwithstanding. So I say all that to say, this is a best case scenario kind of start for the Warriors, and you are seeing Kuminga's role in that, the responsibility he's had in that, and also the upside as the team continues to gel and get more experience and find out what works and eventually what doesn't work, because all those things are going to happen, right? Like, it's not necessarily going to flow this way forever. They're going to have to manage the minutes and whatnot, but it's been an ideal start. And I think what you're going to see more and more, Steve Kerr talked about it in the preseason, there are going to be nights where Jonathan Kuminga is wholly in control of the offense when Jimmy Butler and Steph Curry are out, and you kind of know what the upside is there, and the confidence that he's developing now. You expect that to come into play and continue development in that role too when it's time to play that role. It hasn't necessarily happened yet, but that time will come, and So yeah, the potential, the upside, the way he's affecting this team now. that's my full explanation as to why he's the next most important player.
Dude, I couldn't agree with you more. If you listen to national pundits, right, and they talk about the Warriors, because everyone's kind of starting to flip. We're starting to become this popular team to point out maybe they are a contender. And the one thing they'll hedge with is, well, they're old, not a lot of athleticism. If you had to take the traits that you wanted to add to the Golden State Warriors and have them be personified in a single player, it'd be fucking Jonathan Kuminga. And they just couldn't get him to do the things they wanted. Now he is. So completely agree. So much so that, Maxime, I'm going to change the question a little bit. All right. Let's say that Mike Dunleavy has carved out 5 minutes of Jonathan Kuminga's schedule to somehow convince him, we want you to stay, man. We know that the contract's only going to be 2 years, but man, would we like you to be here for that third, right? And he doesn't feel confident. He wants you to use those 5 minutes, and you can say anything you want to JK. What would be the message? How would you convince him to stay around?
Dollars.
100%. I'm exactly on the same page with you, Sam, and I'll add a little bit more color to that, which is like, first of all, you saw his enthusiasm when he got the bag, right? It was clear that meant a lot to him. And you worry sometimes about people getting paid like DeAndre Ayton and then checking out. It seems like he checked in. There's an opportunity now because we know he's got 2 years on this contract. Conveniently, that happens to line up with a lot of the books changing up, right? That's the end of Steph's contract. That's the end of Draymond's contract. These are opportunities for us to say, hey, look, maybe these guys are still on the team, but they're probably going to be in reduced capacities for the books, which means there's space for you to grow into a larger contract as well. The timeline works out really beautifully for all of that, right? We give you the player option. Those diamond earrings that we saw pregame before the first game of the season could look a lot bigger. You could get a couple more ear piecings or whatever for a few more diamonds. I think it's all about the dollars because it's clear that that's what he feels motivated to buy in with.
Well, and there's flexibility. There's contractual flexibility for an extension, for a new deal. And he is playing, again, this level of play continues to sustain and even evolve because there's obviously room for evolution. He's going to be the top of the market wing next summer at a premium price point, and that he will have earned whatever he's going to get, right? So there is definitely, without question, flexibility for this to be a long-term partnership. There's no question about it. He's the morale is tremendous. The team is winning. He is driving winning. And there is an expectation that he is going to continue to drive winning, and he's going to be put in positions to continue to drive winning. So, obviously, these things have to sustain the ups and downs, the ups and the downs and whatnot. But they don't just have to sustain for Jonathan Kuminga. That's the whole team. The whole team is going to have to manage these things. The ebbs and flows of an 82-game season. But he could not. It's been a dynamite start. He's super impactful two-way player, driving winning alongside grizzled championship veterans. That's a heck of a way for him to start the season and make good on the summer that everybody had. The end justified the means, right? Like this is what it was all for both sides, to get to a spot where they had this flexibility, where he's a key piece of this team and has a potential to continue to develop and play a key role alongside, again, grizzled championship caliber veteran players that are experienced and have done this. So it's been a great partnership this year. No question about it.
You guys nailed both sides for me. So really, right? The two things he'd want to talk about, money and role. That's what we heard all of last season. How much money am I going to get? And then he wants to be a fucking star. Yeah. And so I think if you're talking, well, in 2 years, when this contract lasts, why do you want to stay? Well, both change drastically. It's just like you guys pointed out. In 2 years, theoretically, our current star base are, gone. Steph's contract is up. Jimmy's contract will be coming up. So their financial future, they'll be in a position to give JK an ass ton of money. You tell them that. But I think the other side, the star thing, there are theoretically 30 teams in the NBA who you could be a star for. But realistically, there's probably 5 or 6 of them that you can be a star and win a title for. Big market teams that give you a real chance. I think that's what I would also sell to JK. Look, spend the next 2 years learning from surefire fucking first ballot Hall of Famers and get your bag up. But then, when they leave, you're going to have a franchise that is a big market team run by an owner who will spend money, who's already in love with you, has already gone to bat for you 1,000 times. And so if you could handpick a location, any place to go be a star, to be the name above the movie title, it's going to be fucking here because we're one of 5 places that can make a movie that'll win a fucking Academy Award. You know, you're going to be a star on a real big name team, not fucking Charlotte, not Sacramento, not Phoenix. You know, we're talking about a big name team. So take advantage of it, roll with us. And I really hope that those messages are being communicated. I'm sure they are. To our big question, Sam, the one I've been excited to see you. So I said before, they've become kind of a fun contender team. You know, I mean, like that people like to kind of include the Warriors now when they're talking about if everybody stays healthy, all of that. So I'm going to turn it into a question for you. What's the biggest reason in your mind why the Warriors should be considered contenders?
Ooh, the biggest reason why they should be considered contenders. The biggest reason is Stephen Curry. That's the biggest reason. He is, I mean, 37 going on 27. I mean, right? Like
37 going on immortal. Yeah.
I mean, on any given night and on most nights, still, I would say pretty much most games the Warriors play, they have the best player, and they can. It's just the truth. It's the body of. I mean, look at the statistical body of work, the way he played after the Jimmy Butler trade. This is the team now. It's a better version of that team. The efficiency he was playing with, putting a couple 50-point games, the game 7 he had against Houston. Now, again, the usage, the sprint to the finish. I mean, Steve Kerr has talked about it, like playing 45-plus minutes against Houston and then going in a minute. Like, that's not the position that the Warriors want to be in. But he's healthy and the Warriors are healthy. Going into a playoff series, like that is still a really tough position to put any opponent in. And he has showed so far through the first 5 games of the season and that he's still at right there at the apex, the peak of his powers, like right there. Like we know he's not at his absolute prime anymore, but like he's extended his prime into his late 30s. And that is the biggest reason that, I guess, to kind of build off of that, with the understanding that he is the biggest reason. You have the championship caliber experience. There's depth. There's versatility in terms of the style of play within the framework of the bigger picture of how the Warriors play, right? Ball movement, passing, cutting, all those things, the kind of the prerequisites that this team has. They have bigger lineups. They have depth at the wing position now. They have, all these different elements that they might not have had last year. They have continuity. They have the blueprint. There's a physicality to them. The Jimmy Butler, Draymond Green, Al Horford, Jonathan Kuminga. There's a physicality to them. They're maybe not the biggest team in the league. There's still teams that are going to be more physical, but they have more size than they did last year. They just do. And so all those things kind of working together and playing in conjunction around Steph Curry's continued greatness, around Jimmy Butler continues at age 36. Another guy has extended his prime past kind of what you would consider a normal prime. Draymond Green remaining one of the best defensive anchors in the NBA, such a tone setter. So, yeah, but I mean, that was a long-winded answer, but
not long-winded.
You answered. I
should have been handfuls of popcorn. And
then again, I'd be remiss if I didn't mention Steve Kerr, like a 4-time championship coach. That, I mean, that speaks for itself.
Dude, you were on the money. There are probably 5 people on earth, maybe more, but I feel good. 5 people on earth who are good enough to be the best player on a championship NBA team. The Warriors have one of them. There's then do you have a supporting cast that can do this? Yes. Do you have a coach who has the experience? Yes. Do you have a team that is flexible to play whatever style you need to win? Yes. So are the ingredients here? I think hard yes. And I didn't plan on asking this, but I have to. So day before Halloween, they don't play tomorrow. Do you guys, will there be like a press conference or something? Will there be some reason where you guys have to show up and cover the team? And if the answer to that is yes, my real question is, will anybody be in a costume? Because that would fucking annoy me so much. If I was at a press conference and one of those dudes showed up and like, whatever, dressed as like Frankenstein, that would fucking...
That's a great question. I don't know. There might be practice tomorrow. I'm not sure yet. But, everything's going well for this team right now. So I rule nothing out. We'll see what happens. I mean,
let me make more specific. If it was a player, I don't care. Fine. If TJD comes up and he's dressed as somebody, no problem. But if Anthony Slater comes and he's dressed up, I'd be pissy about it. But I think that shit happens.
I don't know what my colleagues are doing, but I didn't pack a costume at all. I'm just going.
No way. Of course not.
My costume, at least when I'm moving and grooving, is the hoodie and the joggers and the jacket.
I would have bet my life that you were not coming to a press conference wearing some kind of some costume. So nicely played. Sam, we missed you. We appreciate you. And we want to make sure that anybody out there who needs more Sam Gordon in their life gets exactly that. Where should they turn?
sfchronicle.com. Appreciate you guys having me again. I had a blast. sfchronicle.com is where you can read all my work. And I'm on X at by Sam Gordon. I have Twitter. I have Blue Sky. I haven't really used it much. I'm still on X, but there I am. So, yeah, it's this is the first, I guess, multi-game road trip of the season. Glad to be here. Appreciate you guys having me. We'll see how the Warriors, again, another stylistic challenge for them tonight with everything that Giannis Antetokounmpo brings to the table and a Milwaukee Bucks team that's playing well. And then the defending Eastern Conference champions might be shorthanded, but they've been giving everybody a run for their money. So we'll see how things go these next couple of days. Of course, another back-to-back next week. Then the in-season, the NBA Cup, and then a big road trip. So we're back in rhythm. Us being my colleagues and I who cover this team. You guys, all of us collectively covering this team. So yeah, very much appreciate you having me. And
come on, man.
sfchronicle.com.
The pleasure is ours. We do. I mean, for a million reasons, needed to have you back. But the principle of which I need to know if anybody wore a fucking costume tomorrow. So we'll reach out. We'll get an update on that. The one thing from DVDV, great work. Also, thank you to that guy has been an unbelievable supporter of ours. We love you. We appreciate you. And anybody who wants to join us live, hop up on our YouTube channel. The one thing, what I will share for us, I'm actually starting up a brand new podcast where I just give my own takes and then rate them with popcorn. And so if you are interested in that, we'll give the details down the line. With that in mind, go Warriors. Hopefully we'll see you real soon.